Are we live yet? We are live. Welcome back, everybody, to my live stream here. In today's live stream, we're gonna be playing or practicing Crystal PvP while I'm talking about paper. So it's not really something out of the blue. I'm just trying to practice my speaking skills so that it won't be too lame or something. Yeah. The reason why I chose paper, maybe it's just because there are a lot of papers near me, so that's kind of the reason here. So the paper is made out of wood. Oh, and it's pretty common. It's pretty cheap. In my country, that's like, how much is it? Usually we get like the well, this is hard. It's like practicing under stress. Talking under stress. Oh, there you go. So in my country, we got, I don't know what it's called in English, but it it has around 500 sheets. I don't know what it's called in English, but in my country, I think it's called one rim, RIM. I think that's the correct word for 500 units. But I could be mistaken here, not too sure. But one rim of paper cost me like let's say $5. Yeah, it's around that. It's kind of a lot in my country. Oh, okay. Well, that's bad. Oh, I'm gonna run. Okay. Let's try to not talk about the game. This is really tricky for me. Especially because Crystal's not really my main here. Okay. It costs $5 in my country. I don't know how much it's gonna cost in the US. I've seen some US prices. For example, in Canva, you got the delivery thing, like deliver this poster to your house or something like that. And it's pretty expensive. US delivery to my country. It's not really expensive on the delivery, it's more on the okay. It's more on the country price there. You know, my country is in Asia and US, you know, the price difference that's kind of normal to have a very different price, especially because um, the usual monthly salary, or maybe the economy thing isn't as high as in the US. Yeah, I think that's probably the thing there. And what about paper again? Do I really need to lock in? Okay, I don't really want to lock in. I should have just played Bedwars here, but okay. I'm gonna try my best, guys. And yeah, that's not going well. What else should I? Let me think first about paper. I usually use it to print stuff. Of course, everybody uses it for that. I usually use it for printing stuff, especially for math problems and school works. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Pretty usual, casual thing. And yeah, it came from a tree. My friend actually has. I mean, my friend, my friend's father, he's the manager of a paper company. So Well, not really paper, it's a tissue. Okay. I used the wrong word there. I misremembered. But that's that. I mean, well, tissue and paper has the same source though. It came from a tree. Oh, what? Well, this is... I'm having a hard time, guys. It's kind of hard for me to think about paper. Okay. About paper. I can only think of a Minecraft service software somehow. Because there's a Minecraft service software that's called Paper, and you guys should know that already. Paper came from Spigot, and Spigot came from Buckets, and Bucket came from Minecraft source code, and then Minecraft source code comes from Java. That's basically the structure there. It's easier to explain the concepts that you've understood rather than the abstract concepts such as the usual stuff like paper, tissue, pencil, a pen, a ballpoints. Yeah, basically the same thing. Maybe plastics. Yeah. It's kind of surprising that small things could lead to a bigger topic. And about paper prints. Yeah. So near at my school we have a something related to poster printing. It costs like 1,000 rupees every prints if you are using no colors, and 2,000 rupees if you're using color for the paper there. Runner low tier 10. I'm kind of having a hard time here, mate. I kind of don't want to run, but I can't like focus on anything if basically bro, this you should be able to like chase me there. Bruh, why are we on a hole? I don't like that. Hello. So where was I? And paper has some like different sizes. Of course, like A1, A2, A3. I don't really know why. If it gets smaller, then it's gonna get bigger. I mean, they should have made it like if it's bigger, then it's gonna be smaller. I don't really see the reason there, but alright. How do you have a mace? What? Okay, that is weird. But alright, here we go. So where were we? Paper, different sizes, yeah. So yeah, we have A1, A2, A3, A4. I don't know why we have an F1, F2, F3, F4. I'm not really sure why we have that, but it's interesting that we have like differences there. Okay. I just don't really want to sweat. I just want to talk. Yeah, I don't think practicing CrystalPvP when you're on a fight is a good idea. This is getting really hard for me. I mean, I could focus, but that's just gonna be boring. Hello. Yes. Yeah, covering us. Okay, I don't want to talk about the game, okay? It's getting really hard for me. And we're going back. We're like on stealth mode here. Okay, what else do we have with paper here? Yes, it's a natural source object. It's a Minecraft service software. What else do we get? The sizes, the what else? Maybe the language. I think we can try it. Paper in Indonesia, it's called kertas. I don't know where the word paper came from, but in the history, I think it came from China. I think there was like a story where there's like a Chinese farmer or something. I forgot, but basically that guy found a interesting way, or let's say a creative way to write things um, more efficiently and more faster. So before paper was invented, this is from my memory. It's not 100% accurate, but yeah, I'm just trying to talk about things. Don't take this too seriously. I'm not a paper historian there. Bruh. Uh-oh. Okay. So that guy, the guy who invented the paper thing, yeah, that guy was trying to find a more efficient way to do so. I mean, truly, I don't remember how I think it was from bamboo at first. He found like an interesting way to do so. I think he collected like the what what do I call it? The thin sheets of bamboo, I think. What do I call it? I don't know what to call that. But basically, he collected that and then stacked them up, and basically he dried it up, and there goes paper there. Don't know why that's the thing, but yeah, that's basically how paper got invented. It's from China. It's just the Asian countries. Okay. Bruh. What else do we got with paper? Is paper important? Yes. If we look at histories, we can see that paper proves a lot of parts from history. Maybe we can see the proclamation text, especially if you're Indonesian. If you're from my country, then there you go. The proclamation of the independence of Indonesia in 1945 was written on paper and was printed on paper. Isn't that important for our own country? Well, if you're Indonesian, of course. About America, I don't really know. I think it was written in paper also. Not too sure how. Do they have like the typing machine back then? I don't really remember. History teachers doesn't teach me that. You know, I can just avoid this anchor and crystal here. I don't know, man. Okay, we're basically dead here. Okay. Yeah. What else do we got with paper? Yeah, it's not really important. Well, depends on how you feel it actually. Now that I think about that. It can be used for a lot of things, like putting your thoughts into it, you can do that. And writing stuff. And what else do you got? Row. Okay. Hello. Bro. What else? What else? We need more topics. Oh no. Bruh. Bro, this guy's chasing me like what? Oh man, what else do we got with paper? Okay, let me stop playing Crystal for a second. Let me think of what we can do with paper. Religious texts, yeah. I think that a lot of them was written on paper. If someone, let's take an example of the gospel. So back then, in after Jesus Christ's death, after 33 AD, I don't know the sources, but I've heard of it that the apostles doesn't just write the whole gospel entirely at that time exactly. It was something like 50 years later, I think, and was written from the apostles' preachings. It was based off of them, and I don't know if the author of the Gospels were actually the 12 apostles, like um, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Oh, I picked the wrong one. But yeah, I think I think there was a gospel that wasn't written by the 12 apostles there. I think it was John. It was in the gospel. Yeah, it was John the Gospel, I think. Bro, but now I think we don't really need paper, just digital thing. And what if you don't have access to digital things? For example, what if the entire internet shuts down? It's kind of interesting. And what if your battery like runs out or something? Well, it's kind of a personal preference right now. But in my personal opinions, it's easier to write things on paper rather than bringing like a whole tablet with a what is it called? The pen that lets you write on digital screens. I forgot what it's called. Oh, stylus pen. There you go. Oh, what? How? What? Do we have an Elisha? Okay. I mean, paper can be useful for some Olympiads. Yeah, I'm taking the perspective um, of a competitor here, a math um, Olympiad student, I guess. So when math students compete, especially in like the IMO, International Math Olympiad, or let's say the National Math Olympiad in Indonesia, we use paper for making for writing theories and stuff like that. It's because we don't want people to cheat easily. Well, we can use some sort of computer, but of course, PC computers, handphones, tablets, that those things can have access to the outside sources. Let's say the internet, maybe they're asking for other people's help. We don't really want that, so we're kind of limiting the possibilities of cheaters, and that's a good thing, I believe. Well, not really. I mean, not all people should use paper. It's you don't really need to make it as a requirement, but it's a great tool to basically write things, and yeah, that's that. But it's really useful in the pre-digital world where we don't have like phones and stuff like that. Paper is really useful, and it can be made for like books and stuff like that. Like you can get a good covering, and then you can make, you know, a book out of it. It's really great though. In the ancient world, of course. Well, now I'm starting to wonder what history would look like if ancient people, like was before paper even exists. What if paper exists before it exists? I know that's kind of weird, but what if Adam and Eve have a paper and a pen to write? That's kind of an interesting perspective there. That would kind of change history there. Maybe, I think so. Oh, you have a block. Okay, I'm not gonna try to talk about the game. Okay, bro, so hard. Why am I sweating? Why? Okay, okay, I'm out. I'm out of here. Yeah. What if Adam and Eve have access to paper and stuff like that? And what if the ancient people, the prehistoric people, have access to tablet, phone, and internet? What would it look like? I mean, of course, it would change the first video on YouTube. That's a thing. I don't know. It would be like a tutorial on how to make fire or something like that. Yeah. And we would see like more history stuff. And what if you have a camera on the ancient world there? You would like see recordings of dinosaurs and stuff like that. It would be cool though to see an actual dinosaur, or maybe I don't remember ancient animals. Okay, what? What? Okay. Well, mm, what if you use paper for that? That's a really weird question. What if you use paper for bridging? That doesn't even make sense. What am I thinking? Uh, oh yeah, you can make obsidian from paper, by the way. Like you can just print out the what is it called in English? In Indonesia, it's called jaring-jaring. I don't know what it's called. It's like uh, it's like a cube, but in 2D, and then you can like fold it up to make a 3D cube from that design. And I can't draw here, so I'm trying to speak with my mouth here, trying to explain with my mouth, giving people some illustration without giving them a drawing. That's kind of hard, but okay. What else about paper? It's folds, yeah. So the most fold that we can do with paper, usually it's 7. Like the casual A4 paper, A3 paper, it's usually 7. It gets hard on folding it to 7. Like on 6, yeah, it's pretty hard to fold it to 7. I've tried that before in elementary school, and I can only fold it up to 6, and then I can't fold it to 7. Maybe it's because the paper was too small. That's probably why. Man, crystals are hard to focus. Okay, just crystal myself. What is going on? Okay, let's relax a bit. He's also relaxing, right? Right, Roy Yamaha. That sounds like a Japanese name for something, for some reason. Yamaha. It's a motorcycle brand. If you're an Indonesian, you should be hearing Yamaha semakin ke depan. It's like the slogan for the company. I'm not promoting Yamaha, but that's that. Bro, this guy's panicking. What? Yeah, we're just chilling. And then the world record for the most folds on paper was, I think, was like 14 maybe. I don't know. I think it was 14 or maybe 16. I don't know. I forgot the amounts, but they used like a very large paper. They use a large paper and then combine it with larger paper, and there you go. You got like 13 or maybe 14 folds, and then you need to use a, what is it called? A tractor, I guess. I don't know, but it's a big vehicle that you can use to like roll the paper. That is really heavy. Well, on the first struggle, they use like 4 people to fold it, and then when people can't fold it, they use like a tractor to fold the paper. It's so big. Like, it's human-sized tall, I guess. I forgot. But I think it was around that 12, I mean, the size of a human adult. I mean, the height of a human adult. I think it was around that. And then if you fold it to twice that, yeah, you can get probably the tallest man on earth size. Like that. I don't know where he's from, but I think he was from the Middle East. I forgot where he's from, but yeah, he's from. I think he was. I think yeah, he was on. He was from Turkey. I think. Oh, this guy's good. He was from Turkey, and I don't know about the shortest man on earth, though. Okay. But yeah, they have met up once in like Nas Daily video, if you even ever seen that before. But basically, the tallest and the shortest man on earth have met each other, and yeah, it's very different, of course, the size, the heights. Okay. And yeah, I think an adult height should be around like 180 centimeters. I am not American, so I'm using centimeters, not feet. And then if you double that amount, it's gonna be 360. What can you get with 360 centimeters? That's like around 3.6 meters. I don't know what's that long. Maybe a basket ring, I guess. A normal basket ring is 10 feet, so that's like 300 centimeters. And yeah, it's like around that, but even taller than that. 360. I think that's around 12 feet, in fact. 360 divided by 30, that's 12. So 12 feet then. I think there exists a basketball ring that is around that height. It's pretty tall. Oh wow, yeah, around that tall. And what if you double it? That's a great question. If we double 12 feet, we're gonna get 24 feet. It's kind of weird to imagine with feet. I'm gonna use centimeters instead. 720, that's around 7.2 meters. And what can you get with that? Maybe a flagpole? I think, or is it 10 meters? I don't know. I'm not the okay. I'm not the guy who raises up the flag when in ceremony. I think I've only done that. I mean, be the flag raiser in the ceremony for like I don't know, 3 times only, I think, in my life. And it was back when I was on elementary school, so that's a pretty long time ago. Yeah, pretty long time ago. And then I became, what do I call it in English? We had what? I'm messing up with my English. In Indonesia, it's called pemimpin barisan. Basically, the one who leads the what's barisan in English? Wait, the line, yeah, the lineup. What? Okay, the human line or whatever that is. Basically, got some people lining up when you're in ceremony, you know. And then the leader of that, yeah, I became that in middle school. Yeah, it was only once, and then not anymore. And then 7.2 meters going up to 14.4. That is a lot. And by the way, 14.4. If we remove the comma from it, we get 144, and that is 12 cubed. So basically, we also have a mathematical number there. Quite interesting. And then after 144, we got 169, which is 13 squared. And then that's that. 12 is from 3 times 4. And then if we simplify 3 times 4, we're going to get 3 times 2 squared. So basically, the prime factor of 12 is 3 times 2 cubed. Well, not cubed, 2 squared, sorry. 2 cubed is to the power of 3, and that's just not true. So 12 squared is 3 times 2 squared, yeah. And if we find all the positive factors of that, we are going to get 2 times 3, which is 6 factors of 12. And if we use 12 squared, so that means 3 times 2 squared and then squared again, we're going to get 3 squared times 2 to the power of 4. So how many factors, positive factors of that is going to be 3 times 5, which is 15 positive factors. Is that true? Yeah, I think that's true. Oh yeah, it's odd because we have the 12 times 12, and then the other has some pairs there. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that got rid. Okay. After 14.4, we got 28.8 meters. I can't imagine how tall that is. Maybe the size of a 2-floor house. Maybe even taller than that. 3-floor house. That is... How much centimeters is that? That's a lot. Centimeters. Huh. Now that I think about centimeters, I'm thinking about a ruler. A classic ruler has 13 centimeters, so that's like 1 foot. So a normal ruler has 1 foot measure with 0.1 centimeter accuracy. You know, they have the small lines between the centimeter numbers. You know, after 1 and between 1 and 2, there's gonna be there should be a very long line, and that's the middle of 1 and 2, which means that's 1.5, and then the other is like 1.3, 1.2, 1.1. and then I think that's called accuracy, or I don't really know what it's called in English. I know what's it's called in Indonesia, or maybe not. Yeah, no, I don't even know what it's called in Indonesia, but it is it's in the physics material in my high school. Oh, bro, I didn't even realize. Yes, I am still learning. I didn't even realize it was okay. Well, that's good. I don't really want to focus on the game. It's just for like background stuff while I'm talking about some stuff. Yeah, I'm learning like how to pass crystal, especially when I see the video on Dr. Donut. You know, that very big SMP streamer. He's got like 18K players on the server, on his server, donutsmp.net. Yeah, 28.8 meters. I don't know why. I can just imagine that's too big. And then if we time that by two, we got 57.6. Let's go. 57.6. Okay, he's doing the. I'm trying to focus on my talking here while playing. I don't know if this is possible or not. Yeah, we're just gonna dig straight to bedrock here, guys. At this point, the paper length or folds are just too big that I couldn't comprehend, apparently. I just can't imagine. And we're just stuck in the hole, okay. And what should we talk about next? Maybe the texture of the paper, I think? Yeah. Oh, what? Well, GG's though. I didn't realize. Okay. That's a GG. The texture of paper. It should be smooth. Usually it's smooth, but it depends on the paper. If it's really smooth, then you got the classic glossy paper. And it's gonna cost you more. It's gonna cost more expensive than the rough paper, like the A4 and stuff like that. What other types of paper do we have? A glossy paper, a rough paper. What else? What if paper was not invented? Would history be passed on accurately? That's a great question. Well, we should check on the history when paper wasn't invented yet and see how they um, narrate history or actually record, quote unquote record. I mean, recording isn't actually like screen recording like this. It actually has a bigger meaning, which means, how should I define recording? Basically, taking, let's say, a proof of what you are doing. So it's like, when you're making, let's say you're taking absences, and then the teacher goes like, Michael, yeah, it's me. And then the teacher goes, Alex, here we go. And then all of that stuff. And that is recorded, basically. You have a proof of something that has happened. It's called a recording. I think that's the bigger meaning. I haven't looked it up on a like Wikipedia or something like that, but I think that's the true meaning of recording. So maybe before paper, they have those historic relics, like the one that you learn in history, like caveman writing or drawing something on a rock wall. Yeah, that's basically what they're gonna do if they don't have paper. If we don't have paper, maybe we would be more what it's called. What is it called? More primitive, I guess. Well, not really. We don't. We might not have the technologies that we have in the present time if we don't have paper. That's a great point and a great point of view, though. What if we don't have paper in this present time? I mean, the world would still run normally. Of course, it wouldn't be as modernized as now. But I mean, the world will still go on. We don't really, we're not gonna have any problems with that. Just like what the historic people experience. Well, in the usual history, people don't have papers, so how did I even win? Okay. And the world still runs normally, so we wouldn't face any real issue. I think the real main issue if we don't have any intelligence. I mean, God gave us something called intelligence. I don't know if it's right. In Indonesia, it's called akal budi, the one that gives you the ability to distinguish between right and wrong. I think that every creature has intelligence somehow because they have a brain, of course, but it's not like humans. If we don't have that thing, then I think we're just gonna be like animals, I think. Because we can't distinguish between right and wrong. And I think that is the one of the big things that God can give us, which is the ability to actually think and distinguish between right and wrong. Well, sadly, some of us chose to reject God, so I mean, it is an option to love or reject God. You are free to choose, but your choice has its own consequences, of course, and that is fair enough. But it's still a big gift that God gave us, and we should be grateful for the freedom that we have. I mean, for the angels, they also have freedom, and they choose to worship God and to serve Him. And I think I don't know the source, but I think that's one in a lifetime choice for the angels. I mean, Lucifer chose not to serve God because he is prideful and thought that why would I serve humans that are weaker than us? I mean, they are in the image of God, but they're not as intelligent as the angels. I mean, an angel isn't integrated into time, so they are in a different nature than us, and they are. Let's say they have infinite IQ, basically. So we ourselves we are limited to time and space, but the angels aren't. That's the big difference. But we're still worshiping God. We're just differently gifted from the start. But in the end, we would be like the angels uh, if we follow God and the Catholic Church. That's basically the thing there. And if you reject that, then we'll basically, in the Catholic doctrine, well, you will go to hell. That's the thing. And if you, and it's not for me to judge if you're going to hell or not. I'm trying to give you some points of view and some warnings. That's basically I can do. No more than that. It is up for God to justify people, whether they're going to heaven or hell. That is, I think that is none of my concern. Um, that's um, that's for God to choose, for God to judge, not for me, bro. Okay. What else do we got? Bro, how far are we going down? Bro! Okay. We're starting an SMP here. Alright, alright. Bro! Can I just do this? Okay. Yeah, we're chilling for a bit. So how did we just go from paper to like all of the angels? I don't know. Yeah. we have a freedom to choose between right and wrong, and that is let's say very big gift, and we should all appreciate that. To choose between the right and the wrong. When we think about animals, they can't really think with which one is right and which one is wrong. Well, because they are animals and they don't have the gift of that. And I'm lagging, yeah. Why am I focusing on the game? Bro, this is not interesting. Nah, I'm running away. What else should we discuss about paper? I'm not really a paper expert, so I don't really know what to talk here. You have an insane time delay, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's very laggy for me here. I'm having a hard time on connection. Maybe I should change the latency to lowest, I guess, ultra low latency, I think. But well, I already chose normal latency, so yeah, this is not good. 1500 frames drop. Wow, that is a lot. Should I like end the stream to wow 16k frames? Okay. Yeah, my ping isn't working too well. Okay, let me quit and let's see if we can connect any better. 17k frames dropped. Wow. Did I set the bitrate too high? I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, I'm having a rough delay here, so I'm kind of taking a break. BPS, okay. Huh. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth. How much data do I spend on this month? Because live stream kind of takes a lot of data, and maybe the Wi-Fi just doesn't like that. Well, we're back on 6 Mbps. The frames are still dropping, but yeah, and the connection is dropping again. It's not really stable. Kind of need to handle that out. 900 kbps, this is not good. Yeah, I'm pretty laggy here, so sorry guys, I think we gotta wait for a while here. 90 kbps. Yeah, I'm gonna try to dis. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing again. 43. Huh. Oh lord, how can I fix this? Maybe I talked something wrong, I guess. Or what? I should have prayed before I streamed here. So as for the guidance, yeah, we're not really having a good time here. Connection 56, 53. Yeah, it's pretty laggy here. Should be my concern. But it says excellent connection on my live stream. What is this? We don't have an excellent connection. Here on my OBS it says 500 kbps. There are no what? Lineman is so crowded. A lot of players there. Joining world, slash ping. Are we good? 73. 0 kbps. What? Should I reduce the bits right here? Oh, I set it to 6,000 kbps. Audio bit rates, I've set it to 96. Huh. 1K kbps, 300 frames dropped. Wow. I think it's lagging for me. Yeah, pretty laggy. Sorry guys. Speed test. Making sure I'm not licking my IP here. Let's see. Okay. How's the live stream quality here? Where were we? It's just black. Wow. One minute. 3,000 frames dropped. Wow, we're lagging out, guys. I'm sorry. Are we good? 800. Is the stream ending? Current bitrate is lower than recommended bit rates. Are we good? 76. We got 1,000 kbps here. Okay. 800. Is the stream ending? Yeah, the delay is pretty long here, but my bitrate is dropping. What if I change it to 1700? Oh, it's dropping frames. Are we good now? I mean, I know that the quality is gonna be really bad there, but I'm prioritizing the stability of the stream instead of the quality. I've checked on speedtest.com and it says that I uh, I have 180 Mbps on upload there. Yeah, the stream's gonna look very crappy, but all right. Yeah, I think this might be my time to go because pretty much I'm laggy and I've got some stuff to do. Well, there goes my stream, our stream. If we are talking about paper, it's weird, but yeah, that's basically it because I've got some stuff to do. All right, thank you guys for watching. I don't even know if you're watching this. I don't know why you're watching this because we're talking about paper basically. All right, see you guys later. And